Very interesting. Very interesting as they touch gloves. Again, 5-minute rounds. See how fast these guys start out, if there's a filling out process, or we're just going to go right at it.
Owens in gray, Harbinson in black. Owens comes out swinging immediately, and he takes Harbinson down.
Heavy hand boxer.
Oh,
He's
my
got
goodness.
a huge right hand. A lot of power.
When he stands up, he looks just as comfortable as if he was in the squared circle of a boxing match. We've seen it before. But now, looking to finish this one early with Harbinson down on the ground. You talk about the leverage. There's no doubt that Nate Owens is in complete control.
Drew's doing the right things. He's tucking his chin, not giving Nate the guillotine, still trying to stay in it. But I'm not going to be surprised here if Drew decides, hey, we're not going to hang out on the feet. Let's hang out on the ground for a little bit while he gathers his wits. But he's defending very well. Nate, he's going to stay really tight on the ground here and stay very close to Nate. He does not want any part of this stand-up from Nate Owens.
And he goes right back down to the ground. He knows Owens delivering multiple blows. Harbinson's in trouble. Owens now unloading with the left hand.
Got the single leg though, and that's what he's looking for, and that's what he's digging for. He's trying to get that other leg. Nate Owens doing a fantastic job trying to defend. Gets the ankle pick, working to his back.
I believe we see some blood trickling, if I'm not mistaken, from Harbinson.
Oh, I'm sure. Nate Owens hit him hard and hit him flush early, but now these pro fights, longer rounds, we're only a minute and a half into the round. He can hang out right here on top, regain his wits, and still win this round if he can effect some effective strikes and damage here.
Fight has made its way right up in front of us here at the broadcast table.
Now Drew's going to want to keep Nate's head up against the cage as much as he can to not allow Nate to be able to shrimp away. Is Nate doing the correct thing to try and turn towards the open mat? So if he has the opportunity to shrimp away, he'll be able to do so.
So now that we hit the 2-minute mark, how crucial is the next 45-second save for Drew Harbinson?
It's huge. He needs to start getting some of his offense off and not just be resting here. He does not want to be put in a situation where the ref, Dave Sully said, has to stand him up. That's the last thing he wants to do. Nate's doing a really good job in his close guard, trying to set up a triangle right here. Not sure he's going to get to it. Drew looks like he's pretty aware and pretty comfortable down here. He's winning the position, but he's not doing any damage here. And if the rest of this round plays out like this, you know, Nate's winning. He's still winning here, as long as he's taking away, in my opinion, as long as he's not accumulating any damage down here on the bottom.
About 2 minutes and 45 ticks into round number 1. Started off as a flurry from Nate Owens. Drew Harbinson since trying to steal some of the momentum.
It looks like this is where Drew's going to have this success in his fight, is on the ground. He looks pretty wise to any of the submissions that Nate Owens is trying to get. I can't really see because the cage is right in our way, but that guillotine just, I don't think he's not going to get it from right there. And that may be a little lack of experience on Nate Owens' part, but I mean, like I said, he is working on his jiu-jitsu, and Nate is doing a lot of very good things here to, in fact, try and work for the submission off of his back.
So even though he's on his back, you believe he has the cage control and is doing enough to still win this round?
Oh, there's a big elbow by Drew, and Drew needs to do more of that. I'm just talking about early in the round, dropped him, had Drew scrambling for his life for a takedown. But now, I mean, Drew's controlling it, but he's not doing any damage. And Nate is going for submissions off the bottom. We've seen him go for a triangle a few times, a guillotine, and here Dave goes standing up. This is not what Drew wanted. And Drew's going to shoot quick here. Overhand. Nate, good sprawl by Nate, but Drew comes up with the knees there, gets him right back on the cage. This is where Drew's going to hang out. I think it's been established he does not want to stand with Nate Owens.
No, who does? Nate Owens with the heavy hands.
That was pretty close to the cup there. Drew's doing a good job on those inside knees. Somebody is grabbing the cage. I can't see on the backside because Dave was smacking their hand off of it.
Time once again, these two will reconvene in the center of the cage.
I'll bet you Drew throws an overhand right to a shot right here. Maybe a knee to the groin area? Yeah, it did definitely landed there.
Well, you would call that it was close on a couple of occasions.
Yeah, I thought one particularly landed, and you know, Dave saw it too, or either Nate gave him some body language or told him, hey, I hit the cup, and it did. But you know, Drew's going for that high inside knee to the thigh, and the cup's just there, you know. It's interesting if Drew can use this time to recompose. He looks composed in there, and he looks game. I think he's doing a good job. Nate's just got to get mentally back in it and know, hey, I'm winning this round. Take your time, get back to work, and get back to winning the round, because this is his round to lose, I believe, still at this point.
Dave Selyestead giving some final instructions as we get set to resume, and we are off and rolling. Round number 1, after the brief stoppage due to a low blow. Harbinson right now standing toe-to-toe with Nate Owens. Now that spot to be in.
That was a great call by his coach. I was even looking at that and saying, you know, Nate is looking for the shot. When you're looking down for the shot, sometimes some things up towards the head can come up the middle. His coach called for it, started throwing some things, then the shot comes a little bit better, right? Setting up the shot, getting him thinking some stuff's coming high, then the shot becomes open down low.
Final 10 seconds of round number 1. And that will take us to the end. And Zach, if we talk about the way that first round went, the big difference in 5-minute rounds to 3-minute rounds, it started out as all Nate Owens. I believe that Drew Harbinson may have done enough to steal that round.
I would have to agree with you. I am a big proponent. I'm not a judge. I'm a big proponent when I am looking at a fight and who's winning the fight and who's doing what. I like to look at who caused the most damage. Unquestionably, Nate Owens caused the most damage in that first round. But a big part of this fight and scoring it, of the sport of it, is who control, cage control, octagon control, whatever. Not an octagon, but you know what I mean? Drew landed, got his takedowns, got what he needed to do, and he did control the cage more effectively than Nate Owens did for a longer period of time. It's a tough round to score. Me personally, I'd give that round to Nate Owens because of the damage factor, but I definitely could see the side that gives it to Drew because of control, more time on top, controlling the situation longer.
We do see a little bit of blood coming from Drew Harbinson. Harbinson with some blood coming from right between the eyes, also right above the eyebrow as well. You stand up with Nate Owens, there's a good chance blood's going to flow at some point in time.
He hits hard, man. And I know people that have fought him. He hits hard.
Round number 2 underway.
Again, yeah, flying knee right up the middle. Set, goes right into a takedown, gets the single leg, switches to a double. Nate Owens doing a fantastic job getting his whizzer in right there. Now Drew Harbinson, all he has to do here, with that whizzer though, he's got that, just latch his hands, take a step back, trip backwards. There's all of his weights coming forward, all of Nate's weights coming forward, whoop, dump him backwards real quick. Don't see it all the time, but I mean, it's there if he wants to take it that way.
So Zach, we've talked about what a tremendous boxer Nate Owens is. You talked about him working on his jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
How impressed have you been with what you've seen over 7 minutes of action?
Again, he's at Mori Academy. It's a jiu-jitsu school. You know, if you're a boxer and you can box and you know you have hands, why not move your camp to a jiu-jitsu school to become a more well-rounded mixed martial artist? And that's exactly what he did. Gets on top there, very good. Still working punches.
And he was able to land a couple of rights.
Yeah. He's doing a good job. Nate's doing a great job of listening to his corner as well. Pummeling, trying to regain the position. I have been impressed that he has the confidence in his jiu-jitsu that he was going after submissions off his back. He was okay to be there in the bottom, and he was negating a lot of Drew's, shutting down all of Drew's offense from the top. Nate Owens is going for a guillotine again.
Well, Nate Owens finally had some success on his feet as he landed a solid straight left.
I'm not sure if Nate has it in his game, but that Peruvian necktie is there with that grip. Nate, very wise, throws a knee to his shoulder there. Obviously can't knee it to the head to a downed opponent, but he can knee to that shoulder that's exposed right there for Drew. Now, if you're Drew, you can't hang out here. You cannot hang out here. Now Nate is controlling the grappling, and he's in the dominant position.
You talk about the control of the grapple. Again, one of the things that have been impressive so far by both has been the movement on the ground out of the grapple.
They've been very active. There's not been a whole lot of resting, and I've really enjoyed it. Drew's tucking his chin really well to avoid that guillotine right there. I don't think he has it, and he doesn't. You could tell Drew's grappling is better. He is more comfortable down there. He is showing an acumen down there that he is levels above Nate Owens. In the grappling department, Nate's doing a fantastic job against somebody that is a more experienced grappler.
Harbinson back into control now on top of Owens.
There we go. He's in his half guard, and now he's dropping some elbows and finding a home for a couple of those lefts.
We saw a left hand followed up by an elbow as we near the 3-minute mark of round number 2. And again, I can't stress this enough. The first 2 rounds have kind of been a tale of 2 rounds based on the fact that Nate Owens has had success in the early minute and a half. Harbinson has had control over the back half of the round, and it's happening once again, Zach.
Nate Harbinson's hip pressure has got to be pretty good here. Nate Owens had a little bit of a butterfly guard in there, and he wasn't able to extend his legs. Tells me Drew Harbinson's hip pressure is really good and where it's supposed to be. Again, just a more experienced grappler, and he's just doing a really great job of controlling the position on the ground. I would love to see Drew pass that half guard and work to side control, or possibly up to a mount. But those elbows are there right now in that side control. If he could posture up, he could really start doing some damage and start doing his first serious damage of the fight. If Drew can get this done right here.
Right now, the pressure of the right elbow to the side of the face of Nate Owens.
Some short elbows. You know, those don't look like much, but I mean, I'd take a feel down to your elbow. There's not a whole lot of meat down there. That is bone to your face. I don't care how short and not much power there is behind it. It doesn't feel good, I can tell you that.
Almost the equivalence of a body blow, right? If you're on the ground long enough, you'll start to feel those.
Drew implementing some shoulder strikes, jamming his right shoulder into Nate Owens' face. Just working to try and get that left leg free and out of Nate's half guard. Back into the butterfly guard for Nate Owens. If they could give a really strong push with his legs, he might be able to create that space. But Drew is just doing a fantastic job with that hip pressure of staying on top, keeping a strong base, and working enough that Dave doesn't feel like it's appropriate to stand it up.
The elbow, by far the most effective offensive unit here in round number 2, and it's coming from Drew Harbinson, who has had control the majority of the round. That time lands a solid left with Owens down on the ground.
Keep advancing position. Let's go, boys.
Down to the final 10 seconds.
I think Drew a lot more clearly won this round.
No question.
The first round was such a toss-up. Oh, I like that. Nate Owens opening up his hands and getting some strikes in. Conditioning, right? We're going into the 3rd round. They've been in there for 10 minutes. Drew going to the wrong corner. I mean, you're going to start seeing some conditioning settle in. I mean, Drew looks in shape. He's cut. He's leaned out. But again, muscles don't win fights.
Zach, I've got to be honest with you. It was a trend in rounds 1 and 2, and I want to see what happens in 3, 4, and even 5 if we're fortunate enough to get there. Nate Owens has come out. He's controlled the early minute and a half. But from that point on, it's been all Drew Harbinson. As you take a look at the instant replay, moments for Nate Owens, but Harbinson has been so good out of the grapple.
Yeah, you know, Nate Owens is game everywhere, and I love that, you know, he's aggressive and he has the confidence everywhere, no matter where the fight goes. But if I'm Nate Owens, a little more urgency to get this fight on the feet, because that's where he's going to have his success. As fights go on, though, and you start getting tired, it's a little bit more convenient to hang out in the grappling and on the ground.
Even for a polished boxer like Nate Owens.
Absolutely, you know, absolutely. Fatigue is never your friend here, and it'll be very interesting to see how long they both entertain the feet.
Round number 3.
What is that?
The scheduled
first
5.
leg foot?
I believe it is.
2, 3, triples up on that leg kick.
Wants to go to the left. Harbinson says, no way, we're going down to the ground.
And you know what? If Drew does what he did the whole last round, he just won the fight with that takedown.
Right.
In my opinion.
I agree.
I mean, he goes a Superman punch with really no intention of causing damage with it, just to get close enough to get his shot and take him down. They're in this same position where Nate Owens kind of has the one butterfly hook, kind of half guard. One thing that's really nice with half guard on top, it's really kind of a really nice, easy position to control your opponent and keep him down and flattened out on his back. When you're in half guard down there, he can just kind of sit on that hip and get his underhook, and just on the far side underhook, and just kind of keep him there for the round. And as long as he's doing damage and working, Dave's going to have to let him stay there. And Nate's going to have to figure out a way to get his guard back and get back to his feet or get some sort of sweep or something. Another beautiful thing with half guard, there's not any offense really for Nate Owens down there.
Well, as you use the term chess match, I mean, that's a cliche that gets thrown out all the time. You alluded to the fact that Harbinson throws a Superman punch, goes in for a Superman punch with no real intent to cause damage. That is the definition of a chess match, right? Offense up high, he's getting you looking here, no real effect. He's setting up his second move.
Now, Nate Owens is doing a better job on the ground this time. He's gotten his guard back, he's closed his guard. Again, opening his guard to try and set up that triangle again. Again, if he could pull off a triangle, I'd be very impressed because it looks like Drew is very aware of it. Triangles are very hard to get when somebody knows a triangle is potentially coming. Oh, here we go. Dave's going to stand him up.
He had to stand him up because Nate Owens' foot was stuck in the trunks of Drew Harbinson, and you could tell it was effective because Owens was trying to remove it with his other foot.
And Nate took a big side, lands a big uppercut as he comes in for the shot. Drew wears it well, gets right back into half guard.
I got to be honest with you, that is the most impressive thing I have seen from Drew Harbinson and what's been a brilliant performance. He ate that uppercut.
He did. He ate it well, and it didn't really phase him.
I'm talking midway through the third round, he ate that uppercut.
Full mount now, passed on the half guard. Nate is really just hanging on to try and not let him posture up and deliver blows. But if you're Drew here, you are looking to posture up and close this show.
We are in round number 3 of the scheduled 5. Harbinson right now on top of Owens.
And Nate's got this, and Drew's got this beautiful like 3/4 guard, not a full guard. There goes the full mount, flattened out. He's got it up, and he can just go to work right here. Walking up that. His coach is it. I see he's walking his hand to raise that arm, maybe for an arm triangle, but his coaches are just trying to get him back into half guard where he can control it. That's what his coaches are calling for, and he's listening to him very well. Doesn't look like he can really go for a finish as much as just control and just win the fight, because I think he is winning the fight right here.
I think he's won the first 2.5 rounds. He has had control. The difference in this round compared to the previous 2, they were controlled by Owens early on. Harbinson took control late. This one has been Harbinson from the get-go.
He's got full mount. He's got him flattened out. Posture up. He's trying to finish the fight. I don't know if he's going to get the finish with this level of activity. He's not causing a ton of damage, but he is staying busy enough. Nate Owens doesn't like it. See, this is where it's so crucial for Drew to keep Nate's head up into the cage. As he's trying to shrimp away and get his hips away, he has nowhere to go. He's up against the cage. Nate has got to get his back off the mat and 2 more to the center of the cage so he has somewhere to go to try and escape this dominant pressure and top position by Drew Harbinson.
The left hand of Harbinson has just been pestering Nate Owens all round long. Once again successful as we get down to the final 45 ticks of round number 3. Harbinson remains in control. Nate Owens on the ground.
Nate trying to go for that triangle again. I'm not mad at the attempt. Hey, you're losing the fight. Like, let's go for submissions off the back. Let's try and win. Nate Owens is a fighter, and he's a fighter through and through in every way, every sense of the word. He's never going to give up until the horn blows. And he's trying here. But it just appears that the top position and the grappling acumen is just too much in Drew Harbinson's favor for Nate to overcome here.
There's the 3 clicks. Final 10 seconds. We'll get set for round number 4.
No, this is it.
Oh, excuse me. This is it. This is round 3. Excuse me.
The fight is over,
That's
sir.
correct.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this fight comes to an end and goes to the scorecard. Richard Montanez scores the fight 29-28 Harbinson. Judge Farragher scores this fight 28-28 even. Judge Dennis McMahon scores this fight 29-27 for your winner by majority decision, fighting out of the red corner, Drew Harbinson.
Drew Harbinson, your winner by majority decision. Eric Tillison will now step up and talk to the victor of tonight's
That was a
professional
hard-fought
bout.
victory for you, Drew. Tell us about your thoughts of fighting Nate, tough fighter.
Hey, y'all need to take it easy on him on Facebook. That boy hits like a truck. But other than that, man, But we always say it every day, pressure makes diamonds and breaks the rocks. I think he broke there after the second. I got to give all my thanks to Coach Goldberg right here. I heard him the entire time. He kind of got me through there. He rocked me pretty good in the beginning there, I'm not going to lie. But after that, it was all game plan and heart.
Well, you showed a hell of a lot of heart, and we can't wait to see you back here. Anybody else besides your coach you'd like to thank that made this victory possible?
Yeah, first I'd like to thank everyone that showed up from out of state. You guys are amazing. It was a great surprise. Salt Lake, beautiful city. I love it here. I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada, freestyle MMA. I'd like to thank my village, my family, my girl Lexi, my baby girl Cora. I love you. Can't wait for you to watch that. We might fast forward the first round, but yeah. Shout out to the Dog Pound watching out in Kansas. Everyone else all over the world. I love you guys. I love the support. Y'all got me here.
Fantastic. There's your winner, ladies and gentlemen, Drew Harbinson.
Drew Harbinson.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching Fierce Fighting Championship on YouTube. For more daily content, make sure to click that subscribe button as well as the bell so you don't miss any of our daily fights, podcast clips, highlights, as well as our full weekly podcast. If you want to tune into one of our live shows, go ahead and head over to fiercefightingchampionship.com.